Here's an interesting fact about our family court system. A study from a Massachusetts Supreme Court task force discovered that battered women who allege abuse are more likely to lose custody of their children. Joining us now to discuss the whole issue of kids lost in the system is Kathleen Russell of the Center for Judicial Excellence. Thank you so much for joining us. How is that so? If you report the abuse, you are likely to lose your child?
That is correct, Gina. It's a sad reality, but it is routinely happening in America's family courts.
And what can moms do?
Well, they need to be very careful before they step into family court, and we actually advise folks, if they have any ability to go to a private mediator and avoid the court system altogether, they should do that. Obviously, if they're dealing with an ex-spouse who is a batterer or is molesting the children, that is a difficult situation, and many times the courts are being unwittingly used by the abuser to continue to perpetrate abuse against the protective parent.
See, this is so scary to me because I think of the courts as a fair place. You go there if you have a problem, and the judge is supposed to be fair. Doesn't seem the case.
Not at all, and unfortunately it's not about the facts of the case. It's about who you know and how much money you have, and our organization and others like us around the country have been hearing a tsunami of these stories for the last 10 to 20 years, and it's only getting worse. It is an epidemic, and there are a number of reasons for why this is happening.
And you actually go through a process to vet these cases. Someone who just says, hey, custody was given to the abuser, you don't just say, okay, and now we're going to go advocate for you. What kind of stuff do you do to verify and make sure the record is how it is, so that when you're coming out and talking about cases like Damon or Alana, that people know that this is actually true?
Sure. No, we work with attorneys. There are a couple of wonderful attorneys in different places around the country who are working to try to ensure that children are better protected in the system, and there are organizations that we work with as well that carefully vet these cases, who are attorneys, and we look at the court transcripts and the records and medical records, and I mean, I cannot tell you the number of times I've seen medical reports from ERs that say the child should not be returned to the father, and then the court is insisting, if you do not let your child go with the father this weekend, you are going to lose your parenting time,
and are they not looking at those court records? Right. Are they not looking at those medical records?
In many cases, they're not. In many cases, they suppress that evidence, or it is never reviewed by the judge. Part of the problem is there are all these court professionals who are being appointed by the judge to meet with the families, and these folks are not trained. We did an audit of 2 county family courts that this California state auditor did, which showed what we knew to be true, which is these people who are being empowered to make decisions about where children are going to live the rest of their lives don't even have basic training in domestic violence detection or in child abuse, even though California state law and many other states require them to be trained. They're simply not.
And the judges are depending on these people who don't know what to do.
Right. And the other really difficult part of this for people to understand is that there's a financial incentive for these court appointees to keep the cases going. There's no financial incentive to settle these cases, and so a lot of times they know if a child is put with the alleged abuser, that safe protective parent is going to come back to court again and again, and we speak to people who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to protect their child from abuse.
Thank you so much for coming out and talking to us, Kathleen. Now, you can find out more on the issue of family courts. Visit Kathleen's website, centerforjudicialexcellence.org, or go to our website at myfoxla.com and do a search for Lost in the System. We'll be right back.